What's up, guys? Abstract Tiger Productions here. I am Chris.
I am Drew.
And we are here with another post-movie review. This time, we are doing Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And I'm still processing what I just saw on the screen. I'll probably be doing that for a little bit. But, initial thoughts, it was a good movie. It definitely paid tribute to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, for sure. That's the one thing.
Yes, that was probably the biggest thing. If any of you go see it, that's going to be the one thing that is going to be in your face about that. So, the Marvel Studios logo that they did was like they did for Stan Lee. You know, they did a tribute to Chadwick Boseman. I really like that. It was really neat. It was all nice and purple, cool colored, and stuff like that. Bet you like that.
Yeah,
purple.
I feel like they did something like right after he passed. I feel like the next project that came out, they also did a Chadwick. It wasn't as involved in that one, but I remember it was the walking down the hallway scene when he's walking into Shuri's lab from the first Black Panther. That was the whole thing, and it had the overtones of the Black Panther theme, and then it rolled into I don't remember what the project was. I want to say it was Black Widow. I want to say that's how they started Black Widow, because that came out during COVID.
I don't remember. It's been a while.
So I've slept since then.
Yes. As most of us should have.
Yeah.
If not.
So
sorry.
So I agree. I actually really enjoyed the film. I had one issue with it, and I'm not going to get too hard into spoilers or anything like that.
No. I mean,
my one issue was the thing they did the best was also the thing that I feel they did the worst on, and it makes no sense until you watch the movie. But in the honoring of Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, they actually dishonored him because of the way that they explained him no longer being there.
Oh, they can. Okay, I see what you're. Okay,
they didn't give him a heroic send off. It was kind of just like 3, 2, 1, it's gone. So it was very anticlimactic because the rest of the movie was all about grief.
Maybe. I guess you could say it was about that. It was dealing with grief and stuff like that. However, I was fine with the way they did that.
Yeah.
I was fine with that. Without getting into really any spoilers too much.
Yeah.
I liked it. They did deal with the grief part. They showed each person how they dealt with it.
Even M'Baku.
Yes.
Which
even
really surprised me.
Yes. Yes, he's in that. If you didn't know, for those of you who have not watched the trailer, okay, to draw a parallel with Top Gun Maverick.
Yes.
Okay, for those of you who have watched Top Gun Maverick, you probably will recognize what I'm about to say. You know, we're dealing with Val Kilmer and his illness at the time of the filming of the movie. How they dealt with that and the character of Tom Krasinski, Iceman. That's how I paralleled it. And I was fine with the way they did it in the movie. In this, maybe it had been a little bit too convenient. Perhaps could they have built it up a little bit more? Sure, but I know that they had a lot of story to tell, which to me it did not really feel like an action film. I mean, yes, it did have action film and action-y stuff in it, but it felt more like a movie about dealing with grief rather than an actual your typical Marvel movie or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've talked on the channel before about, the things that we knew that were happening in this movie because of what's been revealed in the trailers, and then me having a big mouth and all that kind of stuff. So
You have a big mouth? No, never.
I thought it was very interesting, now that I've actually seen it in context, the transition from Atlantis to Talocan.
They did mention that.
They
did. There's a line that is spoken that says, "We're not moving again."
Yeah.
Interesting.
I found that very, very interesting. Because it's the juxtaposition of he was born into this godlike status compared
We're referring to Namor.
Yeah,
for
referring
those
to
of you-
Namor.
Yes.
He was born into this godlike status because of his, and they straight up said it, mutation.
Yeah.
He's a mutant. I mean, that's not a spoiler,
no.
but we now have two that we know of in the MCU. And then on the other side, it's a mantle that's passed down generation to generation.
Yeah.
So
Black Panther. Yes.
yeah. So the fascinating thing is, Black Panther, the meteorite hit generations ago. This one, it was a significant time ago, and he's been alive this whole time. Like, it's kind of wild the way that they did it.
It's like one more. There's like it's not just one meteor with vibranium.
Yeah,
chunk
exactly.
hit Earth at some point.
I really thought they were going to use this to introduce adamantium. I thought it was going to be vibranium in Wakanda and adamantium in Taliban.
Yeah, it was interesting.
That would have been the more nerdy direction to go with it to introduce adamantium.
But with the flavor of the film, I don't know they were going to do that or not.
Well, if it instead of it being this is just our version of vibranium, it's blue instead of purple.
Yes,
he's wearing a lot of blue and green. I mean, it's in the trailers.
Yeah,
they gave him the wing feet. You saw that in the trailers, and I did not think the green trunks would work. They actually look really good in context.
it reminds me of how the suit for Aquaman, Jason Momoa Aquaman worked.
Yeah.
Especially after he gets the one trident after his mother's. King Atlantis.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yes.
To unite the seven seas.
Yes. There was another interesting little cameo I was not expecting. Lady Hydra showed back up again.
Yes.
That's not her name. She apparently is director of CIA, and
might be a spoiler.
I don't know.
But I don't. The funny part is, she's Ross's ex-wife.
Yes.
That's
yes.
even better.
Ross being the character played by Martin Freeman, and
Dr. John Watson.
Yeah, and
yes.
Bilbo Baggins. And it was very interesting. Outside of all of that,
yes.
Like I said, I'm still processing the film. Mm-hmm. It is a good movie. I would highly recommend if you are able to go and see it. Mm-hmm. Especially, for those of you, this definitely pays tribute to Chadwick Boseman. His tenure. 4 films.
That's all I'm counting. I'm counting how many times.
5, if you count both Endgame and Infinity War.
No, that's not what I was counting.
Oh.
7. There were 7 different instances of different iterations of grief being represented.
Yeah. Okay.
Not the 5 stages of grief, although you could argue that actually be really good for cinema third.
Yes, I'm sure they will.
Shout out to them.
Definitely take a look at that whenever they get the chance to do that.
This man has got me hooked on that YouTube channel.
If you do not know who they are, there will be a link to their channel in the description below. So go and check them out. They, at the time of this, the latest episode that they did was about Killmonger.
Yeah, I was going to say probably because of this.
Okay.
Okay, no spoilers.
Yes.
Okay,
so I'm just going to wrap this up really quick because
I had one more thought, but it's probably better so I can avoid spoilers. Well, it's in the trailer, so people know.
Okay.
Riri.
Oh yes,
is in this.
Riri Williams.
Ironheart. Ironheart's getting a TV series.
Okay.
Because of that, she is the only character that I feel was, for lack of a better term, shoehorned in. They gave her a purpose of why she's involved in the story, but her role in the climax, I feel was overrated?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, it was just like she needed to be there for a certain reason and whatnot.
Okay.
I mean, she provided air support, a different air support.
Okay.
Kind of, I was fine with everything.
I'm
even though it was kind of. I was not aware that she was that young.
She's actually 15 in the comics.
Well.
In the comics, she's 15 and is already a junior at MIT, who develops a
Iron Man suit.
an Iron Man suit to the point that Tony Stark notices it, makes himself his own AI, and he's her Jarvis. It's wild. Her suit, her final suit. Okay.
It looks like
Nintendo 64 Metroid. She looks like Samus to me.
To me, no. To me, she looked like Zero from Mega Man X.
Zero from Mega Man X, Samus from Metroid. I mean, you can even come right out and say that she looks like Ninjor from Power Rangers.
Okay.
So,
I was gonna say Power Ranger.
Yeah,
She's all Power
any
Rangers.
of them, all of them combined. You give her little wings, and she'll have Mystic Force. I mean, just.
But as an introduction, it was a good introduction.
She's gonna have a TV show.
Well, I mean,
there's
for
rumors about the
somebody
TV
like
show
me who
that I don't know
never
about.
ever saw it, it was
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
For those of you who may be a bigger fan, you may have more agreement to that.
Drop your comments down below. I would love to know what you think once you've seen it. Am I losing my mind, or is Riri just? I would like to.
Maybe you're overthinking
because of her
it.
introduction in this. I don't know if I'd watch the Ironheart show. That's the only problem I'm running into. Because I knew that they were going to use this as a jumping off point for her story, because they've almost wrapped filming already on the show, and I'm like,
Why not?
eh.
I mean, they are more than capable of doing multitasking. Yeah, I mean,
It's the
if
multiverse
anything,
saga.
yeah.
It's all about multitasking. Okay.
Anyways,
we need to.
so yeah, we're gonna just wrap this up real quick.
It's late.
And like I said, it was a good movie. Go see it in the theaters. You have a chance to do so. Support the film and whatnot.
Download the soundtrack too. Music was great.
Yeah.
I will not be surprised if they get nominated for an Oscar for their score and soundtrack. It's just
Visual effects.
it was amazing. I don't know if it's going to get a Best Picture nomination like the last one. I don't think it will. Angela Bassett could get an actress nomination though, like straight up. She was great. Queen Ramonda.
Yes. Fantastic job.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And even Lupita.
Oh yeah, Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Good.
Goodness
Yes.
gracious. No, Letitia Wright.
Letitia Wright. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Nakia.
Yeah. Yeah. She made it. Yes. What's kind of interesting was the other little twist at the end, which was, I would say, it was not. It's kind of like a post credit. It is a post credit scene because
Mid-credits.
it physically happens in
Yes.
the credits. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a mid-credit scene because the
was not
Ryan
expecting-
Coogler specifically came out and said this movie does not have a post-credit
Post-credit
scene.
scene. Okay.
That's why everyone just got up and left after what happened because you can't top that. It was not the post-credit or the mid-credit scene that I was hoping for.
No.
I really thought this would be a great opportunity to introduce a certain character that runs a country over in Europe, and likes to wear a metal mask.
Okay. Yes. Well.
But they didn't.
No.
But I'm okay with this.
I'm sure
Because-
he will be coming around eventually.
It's geopolitical. Everyone's looking for vibranium, and just imagining that character having a vibranium suit instead of whatever.
Magic infused metal that he gets.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways, going to wrap this up real
Yeah,
quick.
for sure.
Like I said, go see the film. It's really good. Really good. Don't expect any big spectacular things. Expect to be dealing with grief.
Yeah, it's all about.
It's one of those type of things. Not that it's a bad thing, because it's something that is rarely touched on in superhero films.
The only other one I can think of is WandaVision. That's
yes,
all
that is
basically
WandaVision,
just
but that was
therapeutic
that was yes,
yeah.
and that was actually a TV series, and it had a little bit more time to breathe on that. But still, I don't really have anything else. So be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell so you do not miss any new videos coming out. Patreon is over there. Like I said, be sure to like, subscribe, do the whole things down, do all the things that I mentioned before and whatnot. And bye bye and be blessed, everyone.